what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I didn't. I'll be honest with you guys. I did not watch the Dillian White Lucas Brown fight. I didn't really make many videos about the Dillian White Lucas Brown fight, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't make any videos about that fight. And I'm gonna say it straight away. I didn't make any videos about the Dillian White Lucas Brown fight because Lucas Brown is a drug cheat. Lucas Brown tested positive for steroids, like 3 times, whatever it was, 2-3 times. So I didn't feel the need to support an event where a guy like Lucas Brown was fighting. That's that. And to be quite honest with you, steroids, no steroids, Lucas Brown just really isn't a good fighter, that great of a fighter. Dillian White's not the best fighter in the world either. The fight really just didn't interest me that much. And what I thought would happen ultimately happened. Dillian White knocked that man out cold in what was a knockout of the year candidate because Lucas Brown has been inactive, and he was an inactive fighter he didn't have the best skill set to fall back on despite the inactivity. So that's what it is. But I wanted to really talk about this situation between Eddie Hearn, Deontay Wilder, Dillian White, and Anthony Joshua because it's a situation that really needs someone on YouTube to break this down properly. Because you got a lot of people from the LDBC, the Lions and Boxing community, who are going to spin their narrative. You got other people in the YTBC who are going to spin their narrative, and that's where I come into play because y'all know I'm not afraid to speak my mind, and y'all know I'm not gonna lie. You guys know I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn. I love Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie Hearn is a great promoter, but I just think there's a lot of things you need to consider when you talk about this whole AJ Wilder situation. Now, let's start from the beginning. All right, boxing fans right now, the biggest fight any of us want to see right now is Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Now, granted, Anthony Joshua has to take care of business this Saturday and beat a very tough opponent, Joseph Parker, in the second unification fight. It's not going to be a give me, so he needs to make sure he takes care of that. But should he win that fight, then ultimately that Wilder Joshua fight becomes so important for boxing because then we have a chance to see 2 undefeated prime heavyweights potentially fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Something that has not happened in boxing since 1999 or whatever it was when Holyfield and Lennox Lewis fought each other the last time. So it's a big deal, a damn big deal in boxing. And people are clamoring for it right now. Eddie Hearn, promoter of Anthony Joshua, he's not pushing for the fight right at this moment because he has another fighter in his stable, Dillian White, who currently holds the mandatory position to Deontay Wilder's WBC title. So Eddie Hearn wants Dillian White to fight Deontay Wilder. Now, you guys may remember before the Lewis Ortiz-Wilder fight, I was going off on Deontay Wilder because I was saying he could have fought Dillian White, all right, and made $4 million, and all while doing that, got himself a W, and on top of that, more exposure in the UK market. But he decided to actually go the harder route and fight Luis Ortiz, a fight which ultimately, to this point in his career, is a signature fight for him. He fought one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the world. He suffered some adversity, but he was able to get through the adversity in the 7th round and ultimately pull out the victory towards the end. So, credit to him. It was a great fight. But I had no problem with him taking the Ortiz fight. It was just the whole WBC Ortiz situation. And the fact that he could have made the $4 million and could have actually made the fight between Joshua bigger by simply going to the UK. So I thought it was a good move then. But as far as right now, following the fact that he just beat Ortiz, I think it makes 0 sense for Deontay Wilder fighting Dillian White right now. Now, you guys may say, my bad, I'm going to get my charger, but you guys may say, Dillian White just scored a big knockout against Lucas Brown. The hype on Dillian White is probably bigger than ever, and that might be true. And Wilder, I'm sure, can make a lot of money, but the fact of the matter is, what's the point? Okay, he has a mandatory position. The WBC may enforce that sooner rather than later, but at the same time, it's make the damn fight happen. Joshua, no matter where he fights in England, is going to command upwards of $20 million. It doesn't matter if he's fighting freaking me. All right, he's going to get $20 million plus. Now, if he fights Wilder, and it's in a big soccer stadium like it usually is, and it's for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, then you got to be led to believe that he's going to command anywhere upwards of $25 to $30 million. Okay, because that's a massive, massive fight. The Dillian White fight really makes no sense, and I want to really talk about Dillian White because I've seen some people on YouTube hyping the guy up, saying that he's improving as a fighter, and I don't want to take any credit for him in saying that he hasn't improved as a fighter because I think he has in some ways improved as a fighter. But at the same time, you got to go look at his resume. All right, let's go through Dillian White's resume. All right, so his last. Dillian White, right? Yeah. Dillian White's last 2 fights, he's fought Lucas Brown and Robert Helenius, 2 guys who are fringe contenders in the heavyweight division. Okay. Now Lucas Brown, I already said in the beginning of the video, he has barely had he's had a hard enough time just getting fights. He's tested positive for steroids 3 times in the last 3 years, and he's only had 1 fight. He's only had 3 fights in 3 years, so he's been very inactive, and he wasn't the best fighter to begin with anyway. All right, so that to me, that's Dillian White. His career and the way it's gone the last couple fights, it's not. And this is not taking credit for him, but the reality is he's more of a product of good matchmaking than he is improved skills, because he hasn't fought a top level heavyweight yet, and beat them. So you look at Lucas Brown, he hasn't really been active. He's not that great of a fighter to begin with. Then you fought Robert Helenius. Helenius, a guy that, in 2016, he fought Johan Duapas, who Jarrell Miller was getting ready to fight. Duapas stopped Helenius, and then Helenius had a couple of confidence-building fights against no-name opposition. And, a guy with 14 losses, a guy with 17 losses, a guy with 11 losses. No-name opposition, all right? Domestic little opposition. Beat those guys, and then he fought Dillian White and got thoroughly outboxed. So my thing is, Dillian White isn't this world level heavyweight. He is more a product of good matchmaking. Because this is the same Dillian White who just 15 months ago fought Derek Chisora to a split decision in a fight that many people thought he lost. Derek Chisora, the same Derek Chisora who's always been a gatekeeper level opponent at the heavyweight division. So, it's not a fight I'm clamoring for. It's the fight that nobody's clamoring for. We don't want to see Dillian White. So I think Eddie Hearn is in the wrong with this one. The only reason I was okay with the fact with him fighting White earlier was the fact that, like I said, the WBC situation was really shady with Ortiz, and I just felt like that was a better route to go. But now that that's not in the way, and if Joshua takes care of Parker and is able to get that WBO belt, then it makes no sense. It should be happening towards the end of this year. And then let's say Eddie Hearn decided we're going to have the fight in October, right? If Anthony Joshua beats Dillian or Joseph Parker, then he can make a formal announcement the day after the freaking fight. Okay, we have the fight signed, which I don't think they don't have anything they don't have any contracts right now. So I think that's where a lot of the problems begin with anyway. But I'm saying if they did, they could make a formal announcement the day after the fight. We're going to fight on October on this date, and then you have roughly half a year to promote the freaking fight. And then the fact that it's 2 heavyweights, 2 undefeated heavyweights, guys who can punch, and guys who fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, the fight will sell its freaking self. That's just the fact of the matter. And that's, it's not really hard to sell a big heavyweight fight. It's one of the easiest things to do in boxing as a promoter. So, that's that. I don't agree with Eddie Hearn. Usually on this channel we say thank you, Eddie Hearn, but we're not saying thank you, Eddie Hearn. We're saying Eddie Hearn, get it together because we want to see this fight. There's no purpose in delaying the fight. If Dillian White wants a shot, then what's the problem? There's no issue with him getting the shot after the Joshua Wilder fight. Enforce mandatory after the Joshua Wilder fight, and in the meantime, he could take an interim fight, maybe step his level of opposition up, and continue to show that he's improved, and rather that he's improved as opposed to just good matchmaking, because I really think that's what it is. It's more the matchmaking than it is his improving as a fighter. And as for Wilder, we're going to get to the Wilder side of things as well, because with Wilder, people are going to say, oh, well, he should have to fight White, but at the same time, it's like, Wilder's never fought any mandatory. He's been a guy that's never really had to fight that many mandatory oppositions. So, with that being said, man, unless the only time he fights mandatory oppositions, unless it's enforced, for example, they moved Stavern up, who didn't deserve a mandatory shot, but if it's against a no-hoper type of mandatory opponent, then they'll fight him. But I don't really feel bad for Wilder if they delay the fight, even though I want to see it. I don't feel bad for Wilder because he's been a guy that's fought so many unranked fighters that it's just like, okay, bro, finally you got to fight somebody who's ranked. And Dillian White would be, I think obviously I pick Wilder to win. I think Wilder showed me a lot in his last fight, but Dillian White I think would be a good fight for him because Dillian White's obviously a game opponent. Dillian White's someone that's been in there with Anthony Joshua. Dillian White's fought, Robert Helenius and Lucas Brown. He's fought some decent names in the division, and it'd be a good gauge to see where Wilder's at, and I think it would be good quality experience for him, and it'd be another chance to continue building on the resume should he have to fight Dillian White. So he's had that WBC silver position for, I'm going to say, 7-8 months now, something like that. So time's coming for them to enforce that mandatory, and unfortunately, the timetables as far as when boxing fans want the fight to happen and when it actually will happen are not going to probably line up. So that's what it is, man. But yeah. So like I said in the comments down below, guys, like I say always as my videos, leave a comment down below. Take time to subscribe. Like I say in every video, you can love me, you can hate me. But I'm just kidding. So until next time, take care, guys.